Minister is clear that the guidelines and the income limits that we have at the moment are totally outdated, and I was promised that there would be a review completed and carried out and income limits would be improved. Go back to Minister Coveney's time in office, subsequently by Minister Murphy and Minister English. I cited cases in this House before where a person, maybe from one-parent family, the mother working in a part-time, low-paid job, getting family income supplement, and that mother with her 2 or 3 children not being able to get on the council housing list. That's wrong, because that person has no chance of getting a loan, or if they did get a loan, they couldn't sustain it and they could not service it. So we have a case now where there's a cohort of people who are out working, oftentimes in low-paid jobs, unfortunately, in difficult circumstances, in many circumstances, one-parent families. They're dependent on the family income supplement, which by definition means that their income is not sustainable from their employment. And they're expected to go and house themselves without state assistance of getting on the local authority list. This review needs to be finalised, and we need a great improvement in the income limits, and that needs to be addressed as early as possible. And I'd appeal to both Minister Burke and Minister O'Brien to make progress on this. Thank you, Alaska.
First of all, I fully accept the well-made points of each of the 3 deputies who have highlighted the concerns in this area, and we all face them at our clinics every week, people who are on the margins, who we see are missing out on the housing list by way of income that potentially should be disregarded, and it can be very frustrating. But I would point out, first of all, in relation to the Housing Department, Minister O'Brien has secured a 24% increase in the capital budget. This is going to give a lot more options in terms of different channels we can direct people through the Affordable Purchase Scheme and the Cost Rental Equity Scheme. And what we've done now, we have asked the Housing Agency to assess these 2 schemes on the back of the review that's been done to increase the income limits, because the process needs to go together, and we expect to publish that early next year, because we expect a significant amount of options for people. There's 110 million ring fence for affordable measures, which is concrete and definite for next year, and obviously we will assess then in terms of what more can be done to ensure people get secure accommodation, because I think that's the will of all of us in this House.
I welcome the Minister's remarks. Minister, you in your initial response spoke about sustainable communities. Thankfully, over many decades, we had local authority policies that worked very well with local authority housing and a mix of households. We will not have sustainable communities if we don't improve the income limits. We'll have only people who are on very, very low incomes, particularly dependent on the state for their only income, if we don't improve the income limits. Cavan and Monaghan, my own 2 counties, have the lowest tier in regard to the bands that the Minister spoke about. If there's not a change very soon, Minister, we are condemning a generation to renting for life. None of us in this House want to see that happening. People are entitled to be able to aspire to their own home, whether that's through a local authority or being able to provide it through their own mortgage or their own loan. We need action on this, Minister. And I'd appeal again to Minister O'Brien and yourself, Minister Burke, and I know both of you are very committed to making progress in this area, but we need progress as rapidly as possible, or we're condemning more and more people to renting for life. Thank you, Alaska and Corla.
Again, I thank the deputies for their well-made points, and the sole focus of this department is to ensure that we provide secure accommodation and everyone can access that, all our citizens equally. And I think one thing we should always instil hope in people, because there is hope, and people can take consolation that are on the margin in terms of the significant budget we have secured for this department for 2021. And as I said, the Housing Agency is assessing, based on the new cost rental and the new affordable scheme that are due to be published shortly, the terms of the income eligibility review. And on that basis, it will be able to ascertain what income can be disregarded in terms of various different social welfare payments. And I fully accept the frustration that is there with deputies that this review has been going on a while. But we've moved so much in the department in the last few months in terms of the new measures that are being brought in to ensure that affordability is put to the forefront of the department now. And also we have to assess this review on that basis, and it will be early next year. I can assure the House of that.
Thank you, Minister.